Okay, the last recording I discussed the golden particle, that form of plasma to darkness. Now this one, if you think of like a television, and you got channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4, and they're all frequencies that live within one space and don't interfere with each other. So we live in a space where all of them are together at different levels, like each atom has a small amount of the golden particle, a larger amount of the form of plasma, a larger amount of the other form of plasma, with darkness everywhere in the sky and evil and negative radiation, so to speak. Now on this side here, when I there, that's a non-real constellation. That's the Milky Way, and that's the backdrop of the sky. Not the best in the world, but it is what it is. Okay, now everyone has a star sign, a constellation. You can get a telescope and look at every single person's constellation as it goes monthly and yearly. We have an animal sign to every year, and every human is linked to an animal, a goat, a sheep, a pig, or whatever. There's very few that are not. That is all part of the alien matrix. There could be aliens within every single one of those structures, controlling what happens on Earth. And I'll just zoom out because I'm inviting aliens to actually do whatever they want, if they want to show themselves. Okay, so we're all within this space, within this universe, and there are multi-layers of dimensions and frequencies, and some can appear into our ours, others appear through human bodies, and humans might lead them in, or they cloak the human look and move us as a mass to their system. And all as we can really do, in my opinion, or what I've learned, is save our soul. Whether we came from here or someone else, I can only speak for myself, I can't speak for everyone. And supposedly we start from, say, Aries and we get through to Capricorn before we make it to the next level. I believe in this alien system that's baloney, and they don't really want anyone to make it. They have a recycle system, so those that don't make it, their souls go to, say, Mars and Venus, and they say boys are from Mars, girls are from Venus, or the other way around, or whatever. So it's utilization of a program over time, and the universe that we live in, or this part of it, has been stolen from another dimension and farmed. This entire universe isn't just made of earth-like elements like we exist within. And like you get to the stratosphere of Earth, there's ozone layers like a bubble around Earth that protect us. There could be one around our solar system. There could be one around the next solar system. There could be one around our universe. Or each structure might have, like, say, call that a bubble, a layer bubble of protection, and that protects us from sunlight and other entities, or we don't know. Maybe not everything can pass through that. And we live in a universe like that. So, like, if you take the ocean, we can't just go into the ocean because it'll crush us. We can't just go up to the stratosphere because we can't breathe. They're a kind of a dimension, and we exist within this field, or this plane of reality that we can actually survive in. And that's my explanation of the reality that we exist within. And within this field, there is a lot more than just us. So those that take the time to research it will find the truth. And I'm sure there's many people on this planet that have been adopted, and then they know. And the most disappointing thing on Earth is the amount of people that want to live in denial and think it doesn't affect them and it won't ever. Well, what if they're wrong. Anyway, I'll just refocus this. That's better. And surely a grey or a reptilian or something could do something here, you know. The picture directly above the TV, there's a UFO in that picture. Next, I'll cover learning how you have a soul, how you can heal your body with your soul, and then once I've done that, I'll get into soul vaulting and how to protect your soul from aliens, because we are actually not the solid matter we think. We're actually energy forms with atoms spinning within a cell that makes up intelligent life, and that can be manipulated and tampered with, and bodies can be created to get a soul match profile. And I believe that is where we are and what's happening. And even though we might not be in the body we're meant to be in, we have the spirit to the right of that mass energy. So protecting ourselves to that and beyond that, there are ways that I've learned of doing so, and I'll cover that after the next recording. These aliens, the greys, I believe they're processed humans, and they just nuclear blast everything. And further down the site there's a UFO, and I've had a few discussions with that being, and he calls himself Saxton, Saxton, and he told me that they had, their belief was they had to feed the gods, and what his job was in Mexico. And when they beheaded all the people, like 80,000, 90,000 people, they'd cut their heads off and the blood would be running down the streets, and that's the Mayans, and lots of people know that happened. And his job was to collect the people and force them to go there and to pick up the heads and discard and take them to where they get shrunk. And apparently if you go to Mexico, they've got walls of shrunken skulls. That was part of what he was doing. But what he didn't realise was he actually read this through 6 cells on one of his shoulders, because he himself is a reptilian manifestation of a former human soul that they have used antimatter and other magnetic rights that body once, or that soul once had to the construction of a body, has been demonically changed, and a spirit from a darker dimension put within it, and he doesn't actually really care because it's not him anymore. And but he can tell you what is remaining in those 6 cells within his shoulder, which holds memory and partly helps him get into more dimensions beyond reptilian and us. And I mean, that's seriously evil stuff in my opinion, but I'm only telling you the truth of what that being has told me. And he said that our belief system is not that much different, and if you go to different locations and different places, even within one country, people are being programmed for different systems for somewhere else in the universe as controlled slaves. And all these people can run around doing what they like, but the outcome in the end might be, well, I can only say what he told me. So, and that being's, his former self's soul was shredded and partly used in the outer shell of a craft, and they use it to hold a memory, and then they put part of it in a black star, and they've utilised other parts of his soul for other things, but they have a craft shell that's very strong and is intelligent, and they can control it with their mind, and they can crash and it'll go back to the shape it's meant to be, because they're using a past human soul as in, I don't know, some kind of stabilization formatting. And my point is avoiding that, and what he is actually doing within this system, like you can see on YouTube and other things that they say they're monitoring or watching Earth, they're actually programmed to farm us for the reptilians, and we are actually going to, whether we like to know or even know, they want their next body, and they don't really give much of a crap about us. And it's time this world got together and actually started thinking about the realizations that, hey, these aliens are in our mountains, and a lot of people like to think they're our gods and our friends and everything else, but is that true? Is that really, really their intentions, or could it be a little bit darker than that? Thank you for your time.